Yes, sir. Brown Advice is here once again. Another day, another advice. It's been a long day, 24 hours. I don't know about you, but why is there, I don't know why there's 24 hours in a day. I don't, why not 25? I mean, as far as the whole, like, I know about it, the whole Mayans and the whole system, the universe and everything like that. And why is there 24 hours in a day and 365 days out the year? That's scientific. That's scientific. But I ain't trying to get in all of that. But why couldn't they round it? Why 24? At least make it even. Why not 28? Why not even 30? Right? But that's scientific. Like I said, that's scientific. That's another time. But the main topic that we're going to talk about today is not having, but being able to just have the ambition to be gravitational towards others and to increase your popularity. Being able to just have the utmost charisma, being able to maintain your personality, because, sometimes we have ups and downs, as far as during the day, not sometimes every day. People don't have perfect days sometimes. Sometimes people have ups and downs and they go through roller coasters, through emotions and stuff like that. Not just females go through emotions. Males can go through emotions too. Males can go through emotions, but sometimes we don't really vent and go through emotions like females. They have different, they kind of show their emotions differently than men. We kind of implode with our emotions. We don't really vent like females, what females do. Us men, we do need to work on that. We do need to work on that because me personally, sometimes I have been in a relationship where I've been talking to somebody, and you know I have had ups and downs and stressful days, and I'm like, is everything okay? I'm just like, yeah, everything is cool. Everything is perfectly fine, but when you implode and you're able to bottle up those emotions as a man, it's not really healthy for you. You know, sometimes a lot of men don't want to vent to a female. Sometimes if you want to vent to another male or even vent to your father, which is the best male in your male figure, you know, your father is the person who actually brought you to this earth. So I actually think that's actually one of the best human beings that you can ever vent to, is your father. But a lot of males don't really want to do that, only because they don't really have great relationships with their father. So that's another time for another story. But being ambitious makes you gravitational, only because that's when you're starting to speak with your actions. The more you speak with your actions, the more respect you get. The more respect you get, the more power you get. Respect is power. Talk less, work more, because when you work in silence, you gain power. Robert Greene talks about it. I'm not sure what law it was, but he definitely talks about being able to work in silence gains more respect. You become more knowledgeable, because when you're silent, that's where you start to have better routines. That's when you start to create better goals. You start to increase your gratitude. Increasing your gratitude, it makes you more motivational. Meditation is good as well. When you meditate, you're able to bask in your thoughts, collect your thoughts, have a benchmark, and figure out what goes between times and dates. Times and dates are different. Let me break it down to you. For example, if you work a 9 to 5, right? You work a 9 to 5. Say you work professional hours, 9 to 5, like a bank. They call it professional hours. They call it bank hours. It's the same difference. But say you work a 9 to 5, right? Are you going to work on your craft or your product, or have a blueprint or your game plan before work? Are you going to work on in between your break, in between your 9 to 5, your professional or bank hours? or are you going to work on it after work, after 5? So those are the times to where you start to create a routine. A positive routine is one of the best routines you can have. You know, you can have bad habits, you can have good habits. But when you have good habits, that's when you start to create good routines. When you create good routines, that's when you start to have longevity with success. Longevity with success creates good workers, power, and just where people can work for you and just to be up here, you know, be the best of the best. You know, this is not really sports related. This is more of a life topic. This is more of a video where I'm talking about more so life, but it's Brown advice. So I'm going from sports to life advice, success, and finances, you know, just to pay attention, just be able just to synchronize the information. But just to be able to have certain times and dates is definitely an important role to have. Times, you know, working on your craft, product, or game plan before work, in the middle of work, or after work. Even 2 jobs. You know, say you have a graveyard shift, you can work on it in the middle of the day. You know, there's times in the day where you can work on your craft. You know, there's 24 hours throughout the day. Even 30 minutes. You can read for 30 minutes. You can work on your craft for 10 minutes. That time will accumulate to where you can meet your goal. Dates, right? And this is where I'm differentiating between time and dates, right? Time is where you work on your craft before your 9 to 5, in the middle of your 9 to 5, like I said, or after your 9 to 5, you know, after 5. Dates is where you work on it bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, you work on it weekly, or you work on it every day, right? I mean, recommended is beautiful if you work on your craft every single day. I mean, consistency is key. If you can work on your craft every day, I mean, at least 2 minutes or 1 minute, that's perfect. That's great, you know? And it doesn't have to be the same time every time. One day it can be 2 minutes. One day it can be an hour. One day it can be 2 hours. As long as you work on your craft every single day, that's great. You know, you're one step closer to your success. That's where ambition, consistency plays its role, right? Another thing, when it comes to certain dates is always well. Certain months, long-term goals, being able to work on your craft bi-weekly, daily, it starts to accumulate, like what I said. Dates and times are definitely key. Increasing your gratitude, right? And if you don't know what I mean by gratitude, is where writing things down, being able to talk to yourself. It's okay to talk to yourself. It's okay. Sometimes you can sit in your room, talk to yourself. You know, as long as you're talking to yourself with having some sort of substance. If you're talking to yourself with substance, that's great. I talk to myself. Shoot, I I talk to myself. You know, I talk to myself of what's going to be my game plan, what I'm going to do next, what's going to be my blueprint. I talk to myself on what video I'm going to make next. You know, sometimes I'm at work, I'm like, okay, what video am I going to do next? You know, how I'm going to make it, what I'm going to talk about, what's the key points? You know, it's little things that you do. I'm working and working, you know, I'm working to work on my craft. That's basically what you're trying to do, you know. So if you work in professional hours and you work in, you know, just a regular employment job, but then again, you're working on your craft to really find what you really want to do in the real career and you're able to just navigate and find your passion. Yeah, it's okay. You're able to, you know, you can be on your break, doom scrolling, man, enough of that. If you're going to doom scroll, you can, and Stephen Covey talks about this. This is another book. It's the seven habits of highly effective people. He has teens too. He has highly effective people and he has highly effective teens, right? Basically, to sum it up in better words, if you're able to doom scroll and do things that creating bad habits, you're able to substitute to creating good habits. Stephen Covey talks about it. It's a great book. If you have time to read it, read it. Synchronize it, break it down. I think that's a new slogan. I like that slogan. Listen, synchronize, break down. LSB. Listen, synchronize, break it down. But Stephen Covey is a great person. Robert Greene is a great person. Then you have The 50th Power, which is also a great book to read. 50 Cent, he is street smart and book smart. He's a great person. He's a genius. He breaks things down. He's a great artist, but he ties in with Robert Greene. If you, it's called The 50th Power. I'm not sure if I said it already, but it's called The 50th Power. It's a great book. But to tie things up, in conclusion, having the ambition creates gravitational. People are able to gravitate towards you, males and females. And men, don't get it twisted, right? You can be gravitational towards males too in order to network. You know, don't think that oh man, I'm gravitating towards men. Oh, you know, I mean, I'm starting to think that, oh, well, he's, you know, man, all these dudes gravitating towards me. No, that's not what I'm trying to come across. Basically, what I'm trying to come across is to where once you're able to come gravitational, you start to gain trust. When you start to gain trust, that's where people start to, they start to believe, well, you start to believe in yourself. And then that's where people start to believe in you. People start to see you as a leader. People start to see you as an entrepreneur. People start to see you as the businessman. People start to think, well, people start to smell your success, smell goods. I mean, it's literal. If you're able, when you smell good, body game and everything and so forth and so on, you start to have create this leadership. You start to create this positive energy to where people start to see you as a leader. Nice smile, body game, charisma, being able to be gravitational, consistency. People start to respect you. When you start to show all those traits that I just broke down to you in this video, people will start to see success. This is A. Brown Advice. Once again, I'm able to give you the best advice, the only advice, Brown Advice. I'm here to give you the next advice. Stay tuned for more. This is A. Brown. I get up with you.